يا راغبا في كل علم نافع.
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية
زاد أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن. وتعلم الفقه الميسر عاملا بالشرع دون تعصب لفلان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. When we talk about the zakat on sheep, there is a specific numbering for it. Similarly to camels, a specific number by the Sharia was given, and according to these numbers, the amount of zakat is calculated. So for sheep, whenever we have 0 to 39, there is no zakat. The threshold is 40 sheep. And from 40 sheep to 120, one ewe must be given, a female sheep. One from 40 sheep to 120. So if I have 121, then it goes up to 2. But what is the max? So from 121 sheep to 200 sheep, I have to give 2 ewes. And this means that from 121 to 200, there is approximately 79. There's no zakat on that. It's once you reach 121 till 200. So if you have 199, 200, it's the same. 2 female sheep. If the number reaches 201, then 3 ewes must be given. But what is the max? The max is 399. So imagine from 201 till 399, only 3 female sheep must be given, which means that almost 199 sheep, there is no zakat in it. Whether you have 201, 202, up to 399, this number is fixed to 3 sheep. If you reach 400, then the ratio becomes fixed, which means that from 400 to 499, we give 5 sheep extra. For every 100, we give extra 1 sheep. And this, it continues to go on like this until the ratio may reach whatever proportion is that. So once it is 400, then from 400 till 500 or 499, we give 4 sheep. If it's 500 to 599, we give 5 sheep, and it goes on to be fixed like that. The hadith in that is hadith of Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, where he said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Kitab the Sadaqah, which is the book of charity, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam indicated that with regard to zakat on sheep that grazes Of course, this is the condition. It has to graze. If there are 40 up to 120, then 1 u should be given. If there are more than 120 up to 200, 2 u should be given. If there are more than 200 up to 399, that is, 3 u should be given. If there are more than 399, that is 400, then for every 100, 1 u must be given. And this was in Sahih Al-Bukhari. Now, what about cattle? What about cows? The cow is easier to calculate, where the Prophet ﷺ indicated, and this is what the jurors agreed upon, that for every 30 cows, a 1-year-old must be given. If I have 29, I don't have to give zakat. If I have 30 cows, I should give 1-year-old cow. What about the max? They say if it reaches 39, from 30 to 39, it's 1 cow, a year old. If it reaches 40, then it goes up to a 2-year-old. And then you do the math. And the math is quite easy. For every 30, a 1-year-old cow, and for every 40, a 2-year-old cow. So if you have 60, then you have to give a 2 1-year-old. If you have 70, you have to give 1-year-old and 2-year-olds. If you have 120, either you give a 4 1-year-old, because 30, 30, 30, 30, 1-year-old, 4 of them, or you give 3 2-years-old, because you have 40 plus 40 plus 40. And it's fixed upon this till the very end. Now, in matters of zakat, how do we calculate that? We calculate it according to the age factor. So in the case of a sheep, a jadha of sheep is whatever accomplishes 6 months and above. And this is valid for, let's say, for your aqiqah, it's valid for your udhiyah. It has to be at least 6 months of age. And this is called a jada'. If it is a thani from the goats, then it should be a 1-year-old. And this is specifically for the age of the goats, because the sheep and the goat, they differ. So if I want to sacrifice for udhiyah or aqiqah, a goat, not a sheep, I can't go for jada'. I have to go for thani, which is a 1-year-old goat. If I want to look at the age of the camels, then we have a bint makhad. And a bint makhad is a she camel that reached the age of 1 and is approaching in the 2nd. So it has to accomplish a 1-year-old. And this is the bint makhad. The following is ibn labun. And ibn labun, in the case of the camels, is that which has reached the age of 2 years. And now it is in its 3rd year. Then we go to al-haqqah. And this is what has reached 3 years and is in its 4th year. And then al-jad'a of camel is what has accomplished 4 years and is going into the 5th. At-tabi' from cows. Well, actually, tabi' is from cows as well as al-musinna. And a tabi' from cows is what accomplished 1 year. If we have 30 cows, we have to give 1 tabi'. And al-musinna from the cows was completed 2 years. And if we have 40 cows, we have to give 1 of a tabi'. And it's called tabi' because the teeth has appeared to it, as the scholars say. Now, there are few issues related to this topic of zakat of the animals. And that is, the zakat is fixed on the categories or the species mentioned: sheep, goats, camels, and cows. If someone has or someone is grazing horses, donkeys, birds, rabbits, whatever animals or the likes, there is no zakat in it, even if it was grazing, because this is not part of the livestock. It can be more expensive than sheep, cows, and camels, such as in the case of horses, and they graze, but still there is no zakat in it. It is only zakatable if such animals or birds are used for the selling purposes. So if I am trading in them, in this case, it becomes trade goods, and therefore I have to apply the same rulings of trade goods. But if I'm grazing horses, just for the sake of loving them, I have 100 and 200 horses and they're grazing in my farm, there is no zakat on them unless I'm willing to sell and buy and breed them for this purpose and this purpose alone. Secondly, the rule in Islam is that the zakat of livestock must be taken from the places they're being grazed in. So it's not the farmer or the owner of livestock who's obliged to move his cattle to the place where zakat is calculated and taken. Rather, it is the employee authorized to collect the zakat who should travel to their places and collect the zakat from their own grazing lands. And the evidence behind this is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ: no flock should be moved from its grazing lands. Their zakat is only to be collected from the land where they are. And this is to ease the process upon the Muslims. Imagine if all cattle owners were ordered to move all their cattle from one city to the other, from one area to the other, for the employee to calculate the zakat. That would have been a huge hardship. Rather, the easiest way is for him to move, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.
يا راغبا في كل علم نافع.
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية
زاد أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن. وتعلم الفقه الميسر عاملا بالشرع دون تعصب لفلان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.